It is, I think, very important to recognize that Nixon opened China primarily in order to counter the Soviet Union. And therefore, it wasn't just about opening China, it was about winning the Cold War.
We have unlocked the doors that for a quarter of a century stood between the United States and the People's Republic of China.
When President Nixon visited China in the early 1970s, the Chinese people and American people, they were genuinely curious about each other. But today that curiosity is lost.
Known as the week that changed the world. What can we learn from that visit now, half a century later?
I think what Nixon and Kissinger kicked off in 1972 was a kind of an expression of American diplomacy at its best, which was to try to change the terms of the game, to try to sort of bend the metal of Leninism in a society like China, to see if it was not possible to slowly bring about and help catalyze reforms within that country, which would make China more convergent with the outside world.
The gulf between China and the United States then was far greater than it is now. Yet President Nixon and Chairman Mao had the wisdom and courage to break through the wall of hostility and set their two countries on a new and more beneficial path to the future. At the moment, conventional thinking is driving Washington and Beijing towards strategic rivalry and potential conflict.
The U.S. and China are locked in this spiral of competition and increasingly adversarial relations. We don't want to end up in having an unexpected conflict between the two sides.
I think one of the most important changes in the U.S.-China relationship over the last 50 years has been the dramatic shift in the power gap between the two countries. In many ways, China is now challenging the United States across the board on issues that pertain to how the international system should be organized and who should lead it.
The U.S.-China relationship is a truly global relationship. What we do affects regions, issues, and institutions well beyond the Asia-Pacific. And both leaders need to appreciate that we need to be talking and interacting in order to ensure prosperity and security for all globally.
It is critical to remember that US and China jointly could do great good or great damage to the world.
Diplomacy matters. Diplomacy works. And if we want to prevent a war with China, a catastrophic war with China, then we need another Nixon's week that changed the world here and now.